tonight, I'm face to face with a Carolina legend, a guy, and you always hear this, but this is a guy that needs no introduction. But out of respect, I gotta introduce my man. This guy right here is arguably one of South Carolina's most legendary artists, one of the first talents to lock a major deal down, one of the biggest talents to have your grandma, your mama, your sister, your cousin, your auntie rocking at the skating ring, at the bowling alley.
Come on now.
You know, and in the backyard doing cookouts, strip clubs.
Kappa.
Everywhere.
Come on, man.
And with that being said, we're going to handle some Carolina business with my man, Lil Ru.
Yes, sir,
straight up.
Man. Hey, that's it, man. I appreciate y'all having me, man. Carolina business, man.
You already know what it is, man. Thank you, Ru, for showing up, man,
Yes,
and making this thing happen.
Yeah.
Gonna start out, like, once again, with this platform, we don't pull any punches, man. We straight and deliberate. I'm gonna hit you with the questions. I need you to answer them. we don't pause the camera and we don't cut anything.
Right.
So your real reaction is the reaction that we're looking for.
I'm on it.
So first question, what year did music pop for you and how old were you?
I say 2002, 2003 maybe. I was like 15, 16 when the music started really popping for me.
Okay, at that time, I mean, that's pretty young.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of people around that were doing what you were doing as far as music goes, so you didn't really have a lot of people to actually watch. But what motivated you to start rapping, and what was your earliest memory of rapping? Listen, before you say it, I want you to think about it, and if it was wherever, however, whenever, we want to know exactly when.
You know what's amazing about this with the music, man? Me and my shit was like spiritual early on. You know what I mean? When I remember being like 8 years old, the Brat, Funkdafied. That was like the first instrument I ever rapped to. So my cousin then was rapping one day. They just spitting regular rap, but I'm like begging them to freestyle. But I ain't never freestyled in my life at this time. But I just knew something in me. I'm like, yo, let me rap. They never let me rap. Then my cousin was like, I start crying, literally crying, real tears. My cousin was like, man, just go ahead and say something. And when I started going freestyle, it was like, oh shit, they got to picking me up, all type of shit. So really like 8 years old, man. Like I lived on like a half a mile dirt road. So walking up and down there every day, just freestyling, man. Like that's how I started, like 8 years old, really just, you know what I mean? Taking it to like a level where I just knew it was, you know what I mean, something special going on.
When you say that you lived on a dirt road, did you grow up on the dirt road?
Yeah.
And what community, what area did you grow up in?
Man, I'm from Ridgeway, South Carolina. A place called Simpson. It's kind of in between Winsboro and Ridgeway, but I went to the elementary school in Ridgeway, so. And then I went to middle school in Winsboro, so I'm kind of like in between both of those, but I'm from like half a mile dirt road, man, in the country, Ridgeway. That's why Columbia was like, man, that's like a big city to me, like, you know what I mean? So
No doubt.
I'm a country boy.
No doubt. Ridgeway. As far as you coming from the dirt road,
Yeah.
and having, I guess I would say, a humble background or a meek background,
Yeah.
what were some of the artists that motivated you to start rapping or even pursue anything to do with music? Like, you were feeling it, but who inspired you, and what was your first memory?
Mystical, man. That was like my favorite ever. Like, so a lot of people say I got resembled it with the ad lib. Definitely get a lot of my shit. Cause you know, when you love an artist, you're gonna be imitating them a lot. So I grew up on Mystical, No Limit, early Cash Money, man. It was like my favorite right there. You know, they really groomed what you seeing now.
No doubt, no doubt. Have you ever came in contact with? I know he got in trouble or whatever. He's doing this thing. Have you ever come in contact with him? Did you ever tell him that?
Several times, man. Several times. And the funny thing about it, Mystical was the first show I ever did in my life that, you know, I really ever performed at in Columbia. You know what I mean? And that was the great times. Woodsman was on that, you know what I mean? That was a part of the time. That was the part of the group you was in, bro.
Yeah,
so
for
that's
sure.
what was and being honest, I was telling B that, man, like the Woodsman, all y'all doing those times, I was in the country, so Columbia was like something big for me. Like we had to come here for everything. I was inspired by the Woodsman and just seeing everybody just doing their thing in those times. That shit really motivated me to keep pushing. So yeah, that was the first show. You was on that Mystical. That was my first time really, you know, running into him, seeing his energy.
No doubt. That's legendary.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this. When you did the show with him, did he make everybody clear out backstage or
Yeah,
whatever?
they did all of that.
That was one of the things that I know that he used to do. But all right, with that being said, we're gonna move into the music side of things. If the audience, or if I was a fly on the wall or a hidden camera inside one of your studio sessions, could you describe what a session was like for you? Like what it took for you to get ready to lay a song down mentally?
Oh man, it's more so some good weed. That's first of all, and more anything, man. I just be in my own zone. I just like vibe. Really, just the beat playing, me in my own space. I like to be alone in the studio. I don't care if people there, it don't matter. But I like to be alone because I just feel I make better music by myself. Like, so it really just be a vibe, man. Just be by myself. How I'm feeling earlier that morning, and I come and I bring that to the studio. So that's how I really rock with my.
And in that era, it was a lot of tooting powder.
Yeah.
It was a lot of drug use.
Yeah.
And alcohol.
Yeah.
People hitting the alcohol hard. Did you have any trouble or any problems with drug use
I
at
never
that
had
time?
no trouble, man. But I used to fuck with them pills heavy back in the day. You know, that's when the pills was right now. But now that are fitting all of that shit. So back in them early days, though, yeah, we used to fuck with them pills and being high. I went through all of that. That's why I'm so understandable to certain shit that transpired now. You know what I mean?
No doubt. What was one of your most scariest experiences, if any, with using drugs or getting high during those times?
We in Florida. I'm doing a show. I think it's like TJ DJ Record Pool. We down there with my little brother, Free My Dog. We on Molly. We fucking with the Molly like when we first found it, but it was in powder form. So white boy introducing us to this shit. They like, yo, just dip a little bit, put it on your tongue. My little brother, he must have dipped too much on his shit. So he playing my song Don't I Look Good. He rapping that shit like a chipmunk. Like, he rapping that shit fast, but the song is going at regular pace. But he's so high. And bro, he was stuck like that for like 3-4 days. And that shit really fucked my mind up. Like, he was just stuck like that. Like, he wasn't saying nothing. And then, man, it was just fucked up on that Molly. That shit had him just tricked out. And ever since then, I'm kind of like, hell no, I can't be fucking with this shit like that. For real, that Molly.
Did you step away from it, or do you still kind of currently turn up?
I don't fuck with none of that now, man. I'm more pure, man. I'm older now, man. So when you get older, your mind develop more so health. You focus on what's really gonna benefit you in life, man. I'm more so health conscious, and all that shit stopped for me in my early 20s, man.
Word. Before your hit songs, and correct me if I say I'm wrong, but I'm,
Definitely.
We already know. Don't I Look Good?
Don't I Look
the
Good?
Nasty song. Those were on Headhunters, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much Headhunter Records.
Yeah.
Were you assigned or affiliated with any other labels before then? Because I know you had a couple songs like Will Destroy Hood Hard.
Yeah. I was, man. How You Love That. When I was 15, that was like my real first start. You know, David Miles, he really put a lot of money and time behind my music, man. It helped me develop my craft to where it's at, man. So How You Love That was really like the first label I really was signed to, a real label. I'm talking about with real money though. Like, they was like the first BMF. This ain't no joke. You know, my man done did his time. He home now, but he was like the first BMF. Ryan Hammers, back then on 28, we got Prowlers. I'm talking about Bentleys, all that. I'm shooting $50,000 videos way back then, man. That was like the real first time I really felt it's real. Like jewelry, diamonds, young, man. So this shit was that. How You Love That was really the first one.
So at that time, and of course, if you from Carolinas, you remember y'all had billboards,
we was crazy,
vehicles, rap vehicles, just all of that stuff going. What was the fall at that time?
Man,
what was
my
the
man
fall?
really, that shit so deep, man. My partner really got fucked up with the drugs and shit, just getting locked up. You know what I mean? I was young at the time, so my hand went in a lot of that shit. I would be around for bullshit, not no real shit. But my man getting fucked up, really locked up by the feds. You know what I'm saying? And that shit just really fucked the whole move up. And I'm just young, not understanding the level of what's going on, and it just went sideways, man. I got caught up in that shit. I had to go to get on the stand, you know what I mean? In a real way, done it the right way, you know what I mean? So it's a lot with that at the time, you know? So it was just a lot, man. It's a lot, bro, a lot.
No doubt. With that being said, how did you transition from that label to Headhunters? Because really, we knew the legwork started one place, but Headhunters got a lot of accolades from riding what seemed like the coattails of what you had going on.
Yeah. But Lil Bo, he was an instrumental part in putting me with How You Love That. You know what I mean? He was already cool with them dudes, so he just, he was my big homie at the time, helping me with life. So he kind of introduced me to them, but they had the money more so to put me out. So Lil Bo was always solid. I gotta give that to Lil Bo. He always had my best interest. So he wasn't tripping when it was time for me to go deal with them. You know what I mean? So everybody still was cool though. And that's before me and Lil Bo started the whole Headhunter thing, because we really started that. So, you know, Lil Bo and all of us was already cool. And when my man got locked up, me and Lil Bo really just took the vision and took it to another level.
And that's crazy because that's not how it's viewed necessarily in the streets.
Yeah, man.
The streets look at it like super producer 9 mil.
Yeah.
Put the team together.
Yeah.
And with that being said, you and Bo actually started it and got it going.
You can ask Lil Bo, this God's my witness kids right now. I came up with the name, the logo, the Grand Reaper. Oh, that's me. That's all mine. That's all me. Me and Lil Bo came up with this together. The whole collard green 9 mil thing, Lil Bo was already cool with them. He introduced me to them through them. When I came from Atlanta, I started getting to know Greens and them then, and you know, me and Greens kind of clicked. Like Andre, Big Boy, we kind of feeling that, so we just went from there with it.
That's fire.
Yeah.
So while you guys definitely had the Headhunter thing growing, and it looked crazy over there because y'all were pulling in what I consider is the best artists at the time, or the most creative artists at the time.
Yeah.
But what helped you land the major situation? Like, what helped you make? Rumor has it that Angie Stone, Charlemagne the God, all of these people had something to do with it. But I want you to take your time to break down as much as you can remember. I know that it was a long time ago.
Nah, I got it, man.
But I want you to break that thing down, man.
Yeah,
for
man.
the people
Please allow me to teach people, man. Educate people on my history, man. But,
no doubt.
So when I would say 16, 17, Angie Stone, she already heard about the Will Destroy song. Remember I told you about with How You Love That. She heard about the song already. But Lil Bo and them, we really didn't have the money to really go and just put music out on a high level being independent. But we knew we had the talent. So back then, you could get a deal with just raw talent. That was a blessing. So I had the raw talent. Angie Stone heard me. This was with but I'm gonna take it slow. So my first deal was with Electra. I don't know if you remember them back with Missy Elliott, Fabulous, Sylvia Rome, she was over there. So Angie Stone helped me concrete that deal, but just through her daughter Diamond, hearing my song in the club from time to time, you know, they just hearing about the music. And then Angie Stone, you know, she walked me into my first deal. But I've been signed 3 times, you know what I mean? So through that first situation, I didn't even get to put an album out. I got like $25,000 up front, but it was just chaotic with the whole merging of these labels. So I got dropped from that without even putting the album out. But my second deal was with Capitol Records. I had a single deal with the Don't I Look Good song. But the Don't I Look Good came from in the mall, Columbia Mall. 9 mil in those guys, they was in the store. I think like 8-Ball MJG was in town. Back when like the main event was popping crazy at this time, I think a guy that used to manage them, he managed them, he heard the song, and I think, I don't know the store, he used to play the music in the store all the time, play different people, but it was playing that song. He heard the song, he run me a deal with Capitol, you know what I mean? So 9 mil them helped me put that together. Capitol signed me. They wanted to do an album, but the guy that signed me named Ronnie Johnson, he had a heart attack. He passed away in the middle of the situation.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so I got dropped from them. Well, not even dropped. I just ran the single deal out. Then we just back to the surface. But I already had the Nasty song then. I was actually trying to offer them the Nasty song. They didn't want the record. So my third situation, that's when me and we Headhunter, we really started feeding the streets with the music, you know, making mixtapes. Me and Collard Green doing the Truth and the Answer. We club the club. We really started trying to put it, because we knew we had something from Don't I Look Good, just the buzz from that, going around performing it, getting a little show money here and there. So with the Nasty song, when we put that out, the reaction from it, we just knew then that this is something different. So when that came out, it was more so hot in the streets. I was getting show money, $1,000 here, $1,500 Orangeburg, something. I tell any artist, man, if you doing local, when you start getting those kind of $1,000, $1,500, $500, that's when you know it's finna go somewhere.
Yes,
so I started getting those, and those with the Nasty song, man, people hearing about it, but the Nasty song is when it got turmoil in it, you know what I mean? This is when it got, I don't want to say toxic, it's when it got separated, because everybody growing, number one, and then you got a situation now to where I'm learning. That's what I say, I'm learning.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
it was rumors stirring around, and we got to hit these rumors head on.
Please do, man.
Of people either stealing or misusing the label money.
Yeah.
What can you talk about it if you feel comfortable about talking about it? Any kind of details about the misuse of funds, or did you feel like funds were being misused at the time?
As far as when it comes to the deal,
Yeah.
when I was signed,
any one of the
any
deals.
one of the deals, definitely, man. I say this, when I first got the deal with I say the second deal. When I got the second deal, it was like $30,000 advance, but we all ain't really got no lot of money.
That was about $100,000 back then. That was a lot.
Then
of money.
yeah, so I'm thinking it's a single deal though. It's just for one song. But now that I'm old, I'm knowing that the artist was supposed to get that, the producer supposed to get, his money off a separate thing. But I end up, I don't want to say manipulated, but I was just convinced to just break all that money up with my guys, which I don't have no problem with doing that if we move in a certain way. But I can take it back to the first deal, man. I got that deal just off of Andy Stone me, but when I got my first check, I was breaking that up with the guys, you know what I mean? Nobody never really put no money into me. It's always been my talent. It's always been my talent, especially in those days. So when we got the second deal, I broke that money up with them, man. So the money wasn't, in those times, I feel like those was my early 20s, so I could have really developed into, more character as a man growing up, having kids. That wasn't the thing that was pushed into me.
Right.
More so just, we just living reckless.
Right.
Partying. So, yeah, a lot of money was definitely fucked up inside of there.
All right, no doubt. After finding out, like how did you feel? Did you want to crash out? Did you want to handle it any kind of street kind of way or anything?
Man.
How did you feel about
Honestly,
the money?
I felt good, man. I didn't learn about these things, bro, until I developed more, bro, as a man. You know what I mean? In the beginning, I was cool with that because that's how it was. You know what I'm saying? I'm not enlightened to know that this is what I'm supposed to do. And I don't even hold those guys' fault to that because I don't think they understood the level. Because everybody want to survive. We want to be better. We want to have more. So that was the outlet for us. So at the time, I respected that. But with the way things developed, I didn't respect that. You know what I mean? So at the time, those times, with that type of money, that was good for me. I wasn't tripping on that. Because I was, like I say, the first deal, I was breaking bread with the guy. Getting my first little money. We go to the mall, spend $6,000 all together. We just buying clothes, shoes. You feel me? Like, I was really doing shit like that. So I wasn't tripping on that, man. Until, nasty song time. That's when shit got.
Right. What were the actual terms of the contract? Like, were you the type of person that even cared at the time? Because I kind of like you went with the flow. Yeah. But what were the terms of the contract and how the deal was structured? What was the label actually asking for? Were they asking for albums or singles?
No, it was just a single deal with that, with Headhunter. That's why I always speak about it, because we talk about Headhunter. Those were the situation I feel like they walked me into. Every other situation, I got these on my own. You know what I mean? But that Don't I Look Good single deal, they helped me get that. So it was just a single deal, man. And I never had no paperwork with Headhunter. That was just my niggas. So we just rocking. I fucked with Lil Bo from the streets. Lil Bo really helped change my life.
So he was more like a manager or a mentor?
Man, Lil Bo was like a brother, man. I was fucked up. I had shit. You know what I mean? Living on that dirt road, Lil Bo came and put life into me. Let me wear his clothes and shit to school, giving me money. Like, Lil Bo was my, yeah. So I was just with him. Whatever he was on, I was on. If he's with Collard Green Diamond, I'm with them. So Lil Bo was really my concrete growing up, man. He really helped me a lot.
No doubt.
Hell yeah.
Headhunters, there's a lot of labels out at the time. Even we had a label out. We were doing our thing. But Headhunters became a juggernaut.
Yeah.
And you had a fellow city guy, Mr. Flip.
Yeah.
Just all the guys. I respect all of them. Even on down to Lil Broad coming in a little late. I respect all of them. But because of your status, was there any rifts, beefs, or jealousy between the members? I want you to think about it before you answer.
Yeah.
Even if it was a small situation over a bag of chips, we want to know.
Yeah.
We just want to know how it was with a group of talent like that.
Speaking about Mr. Flip, I grew up with Mr. Flip. He from Ridgeway. So when Mr. Flip used to be the #1 freestyle dude in the whole time. We both from the same country. We went to the same high school, all of that. But I'm younger than Mr. Flip though. So everybody used to always be talking about Mr. Flip. But he used to be like in high school. So the high school was like here, the middle school was like right across. We could walk. So me and Mr. Flip used to be rapping. So he hearing about me. One day I see Mr. Flip, he outside of the football game. I'm in the inside of the game. But we rapping against each other like through the fence. So me and Mr. Flip always started out competing with each other. Like that was like day one. Like we became friends by like rapping against each other relentlessly every game. He always respected I was younger than them, but I could really stand in there with them. So when it come to Headhunter label, us having, it was never no hate, like it was all love, man. Until when the money came, I think I don't want to say when the money came involved. I think when transition happened, when you really from the fly, you know what I mean? Because you don't know you good until you start moving around. You know what I mean? They don't know you really got something going until you in Florida and nobody know us, but they still gravitating to this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't feel like they was mad at me, but I think can feel, you know what I mean? Okay, this is LeBron James. This
separation.
Yeah, it's a difference between this and this.
Right.
And start feeling that, I think that shit just created it's a mindset. Kind of like you don't want to let something go like that because you know it's scary. I learned that later on, but I can feel like, you know.
Did y'all ever talk about it? Like even though, as of today,
Yeah.
have y'all talked about it?
Bro, the realest before I ever stopped fucking with them on the music tip, I had a conversation with 9 Mil, Lil Bo, three-way on the phone. God bless the dead, Kim Ely. I'm in her house. I'm sleeping on an air mattress at her time. Yes, I'm on the phone with them. I'm telling them boys, this is when the next song was like first start going. I'm getting these little shows. Kim booking them through MySpace. We way back then. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to elevate with shit. These boys telling me like, bro, look, we don't really feel we want to, really invest fully into the next song. So I'm telling them like, shit, I'm just finna do my thing with it. We all agreed on that. But when I start really doing my thing, act like we had never had that conversation in life. And that was all the shit that would, for me, that fucked me up with them. Like, I'm like, bro, y'all know we really talked about, but I think they didn't believe that I can still do that. But I already knew that by getting these other deals that I can get it, bro, that shit was nothing to me. But I don't think they really believe that I can really do this shit like I was going now. You know what I mean? So, when that conversation happened, that was solid. And keep that going on, man. So I love Headhunter, but it's a lot of shit I just don't respect with that shit. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Never done before, and it possibly have been, but I want to give but I want to give a moment of silence for Kim. Man.
Yeah, man.
Kim was special to the city, so I want to give her a moment of silence.
Fact.
Rest in peace, baby girl.
Yeah, facts though. Should have been right up in here too, for sure.
No doubt.
Been right up in
I
here.
see that smile. I see that smile.
Should have been right up in here, right there.
So at that point, did you ever feel the need to seek legal counsel?
Now we never had no paperwork. This shit been all partner shit. You my homeboy, we can rapping, I'm good. Damn. We just like shooting in the gym. But, the scouts and shit checking me out. I'm looking different on the court. So it never was no, let's sign rule. It was always, we just homeboys. You can rap, I can rap. We just gonna do this shit. When that shit started really getting serious is when the music started picking up quick. People started gravitating to that shit fast. It was just been pure talent. We never had no real money to invest into. That's why you can't sign when you don't got no money. When you don't got no money to give an artist money, why would you try to sign a? It's impossible for the artist to be happy, to really have a dream going. When you know that, we just all from the mud, you know what I mean? So it was never no situation like that. We just friends, bro, with a dream and really talent trying to do some shit. Now I can make the beats. I can rap. We just putting a package together, you know what I mean? Just partners.
At that time, you didn't have legal representation or anybody looking into anything because you didn't feel it was necessary.
Right.
Did you have God in your life, or did you know God enough to be able to pray over your situation? Did you honestly know God, or did you have a higher power to guide you during these situations, or you were just running, being a youngster?
Man, honestly, back then I was into Christianity, and I say back then because as I grow, man, I develop into true understanding is how I feel about it, man. I was into Christianity, so I used to feel like a lot of shit I was doing was wrong. And I feel like that's a lot of the reason why certain shit for me was blocked off because my mental. I used to feel like a lot of that shit was off. I was doing something bad, you know what I mean? But as I grew, you know what I mean, I found the real truth about life, you know what I mean? Just really being whatever a man believing in his mind is what he's really going to manifest into his life. So once I started really getting true understanding of thinking, bro, is when, you know what I mean, just start getting right for me. And when I come to God, you know what I mean? Because me and God got our own personal thing going on. It's a solo journey, man. I'm comfortable with that now. I wasn't at that time. I used to be trying to figure it out. But, you know, as time go on, you know how it is. Everybody grow, develop, man. So back then, God was scary to me. I'm going to say that. I was afraid of that shit. You know what I mean?
No doubt. I just couldn't imagine what you were going through at that time, being so big and getting so big at that time. Who did you travel with? Like when you guys were traveling back and forth to New York, California, wherever y'all were going, put us in those vehicles or on those plane rides. Who was there?
Man, what? Yo, dude, I'm gonna tell you how much of a renegade or a go-getter I was. I used to do this shit by myself, solo. My first plane flight, I was nervous. I would never forget this black lady. She could tell I'm young. She rubbing my hand as the plane landing and all that. Bro, I was by myself. I used to take this shit so relentless. I used to have no money, no nothing. Just believing that somebody would be on the other side. I used to hold the signs up to put you in like the cars and all that. That's when Andy Stone was just flying me. I was by myself, man, getting off them planes and there for me, just God. And that's what I'm saying. As I started looking, I know that God was really guiding with me for real through all these trips, bro. It wouldn't know, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that was with me, the whole headhunter, but none of them was moving around with me when it come to getting it, some money going with it, getting a deal. I was by myself. Now with the capital shit, we rolled around, but that wasn't really like how I'm, really chasing it. It was already set in stone for us at that time.
Show wise, at that time, at your prime, how much money were you kind of making per show? And how did you set those things up? Did you have a road manager? Did you do it yourself? How did things actually manifest with the shows?
Man, Kim Ely, man, I say Kim was a real instrumental part of me getting money, you know what I mean, booking shows. We used to run plays, man, where I used to get $1,500, $3,000, but we would do 2-3 shows sometimes in a day. Might have a teen show this day, a nightclub over here, go to North Carolina, man. We used to be running it up. Kim was a big part in the beginning of really just booking my shows, putting it together. Me and her learned the structure together. She didn't know nothing about it. It was just me putting her in the mindset like, look, this is what we got to do. Really just trying to get there, bro. You know what I mean? So, hell yeah. The early days, I was getting, $1,500, $3,000. Time grow on,
Gotcha.
Go a little more.
As far as the labels and collabs and things like that, who did they line up for you? I know, and again, man, it's been a long while. Yeah. I remember something with a Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? That was one that kind of blew my mind. When I saw that, I said, "Yeah, this boy for real."
Yeah. The funny thing about the Ross feature, I got that on my own though. Def Jam didn't really put that together. When he was signed with Def Jam, but I saw Rick Ross backstage. We smoking weed. Everybody got the backstage lit up. But at the time, Rick Ross was smoking like some grape swishers. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? We don't ever in life smoke no grape swishers. I don't smoke them shit. So we smoking, regular. He didn't have no weed and shit. So we had the weed, and man, we just end up going to over there where he was at, smoking with him. We caught a good vibe, and he gave me that verse for like 10 grand. Like at the time though, he was getting crazy money.
He was one of the biggest artists in the world at the time.
He gave me for like 10 grand. He just with me, and man, it was just that's just something that happened. I told him I wanted him on some shit, and he fucked with me. Shout out to Ross forever. I fuck with bro.
It looked like it was some spoiled shit, like Def Jam just kind of pushed it your way.
I did.
So you worked for that.
Yeah,
no doubt.
The relationship just being cool and shit, bro.
No doubt, man. Do you have any more stories like that with other people that you bumped into, or kind of help you guide yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, man, I got stories, man. This 5 hours me telling all my
stories. We gotta get it on part.
Man, I got so many stories, man. It's ridiculous, man.
Give us one more. Give us one more.
Man, I'm talking about I'm gonna go back. Rich Boy. Remember Rich Boy throw some D's?
Oh yeah.
Rich Boy.
He was heavy in the Carolinas.
Yo, man, Rich Boy. He was one of the first dudes that really gave me a feature, like when it was really popping though. You know what I mean? Like him and Polo the Don. I'm really just shout out to D-Tech. I used to rock with Fish and them. I can't forget about them.
No
Fish them used to give me $150 a week to be signed with them. Shout out to Fish. Yeah, man, but Rich Boy, they put me with Rich Boy. He was a cool dude, man. I seen Rich Boy one night when my shit was popping. And he was like outside of the club. They was trying to flex on my man. I seen him down there. I grabbed him, put him on the stage with me. It was just big love, man. Like Rich Boy, like one of them cool dudes that I really rock with from back in the day.
Bro, you had an album in every record store.
Yeah.
And I got mine from Best Buy. I bought 8 copies from Best Buy. How did that feel, bro, knowing that you made it, that you got there and that you stood on the top of the mountain? How did that feel?
That was the shittiest time of my life, though, bro. Shittiest time of my life. That was the worst time of my life. That album came out, the worst shit ever. That whole Def Jam deal, that was the worst shit of my life. Because that shit, it turned into the best time of my life, but it was the worst at the moment because, like I say, that's when I lost Collard Green, Lil Bo. All of us started separating when I got this shit with the Nancy song. That's when Charlamagne came in and played with that shit. Charlamagne, he been knew about the song. Like, you know, Carolina, he from here, everybody hearing about it.
He was a DJ really at the time, kind of
Yeah,
mostly
radio
at the time.
shit. But I met him a long time ago with the How You Love That. That's a long story though. But Charlamagne hear about the song. He flew me to New York. He didn't pay for it. He actually asked me to come. He invited me to New York. I came to New York. That's when I'm getting, like I say, Kimberly booking my show. We getting $1,000 here and there. He telling me he can get me a deal with Koch. Remember Koch at the time?
Oh yeah, definitely. 3 6 Mafia and other people like that.
So Jim Jones, all them. So he got a relationship with them. He telling me like, look, I can get you with Koch, but him and Wendy Williams, husband, Kevin Williams, cuz on my soul, fuck him. They like, yo, we gonna get you a deal with Koch, but first you gotta sign a deal with us. So I'm like,
management?
Nah, but now I'm thinking Charlamagne like, yo, we gonna some CEO shit, like we gonna put this shit together, we'll give you part of the label shit. So I got this dude with me named Jonathan Stevenson. He was supposed to be my manager at the time from Augusta. So he like, yo, I'm like, yo, he supposed to be like my advisor, look over contracts, all this fake manager shit. You know how niggas be. So I got him with me though. So I'm telling bro, look, we gonna check out the deal. Charlamagne, like he'll give me a percentage of the label, the stupid dope move shit. Him and DJ Frosty, you remember that shit?
No doubt.
So they like, yo, we gonna give you a percentage of this shit. We gonna try to sign you to this shit. We gonna get you a deal with Koch. So we in the fucking building in New York with his lawyer. That's Kevin lawyer, Charlamagne lawyer. These niggas like, yo, contract right here. I give it to my man. It's supposed to be like my advisor, read over this shit. He look over it. We sign it. We go over to Koch. Do not give me no deal. It's like, no, we do not want to do the deal. But it's a nasty song we trying to pitch to them.
Right.
They like, we want to put Boosie on that shit. I'm like, hell no, don't put Boosie on my shit. So they like, they got switch beats in the meeting and everything. Charlamagne done really turned this shit up to try to get the deal. They got switch beats in this shit, but they don't want to do the deal. The nigga take switch beats, go holler at him on some left shit. So, but now, after this, I go back to my getting show money. Now, I'm telling you, I'm already getting $1,000, $1,500 show money. I go back to that, but I ain't even thinking in my real mind because me and Charlamagne never did no money shit that I'm signed to these. So I'm working my shit still. So I end up getting my situation concrete with a dude named Abraham Muhammad. He from London, England. He hear my shit outside of Slice in Atlanta. We in the it's a U-Haul parking lot right across the street from there.
No doubt.
I'm playing my music for this man. He poker facing my shit. I'm staying in Atlanta. He just poker facing. My man Jonathan, he got me moving around like doing showcases at the time. We performing for all these different labels. So he hear my shit. So when he hear my shit, he poker face my shit kind of like whatever. The next morning, this called me like, bruh, we can get you a deal with Def Jam. He's telling me KP, Kawan Prada, that's the nigga that signed T.I. I'm serious at.
No doubt.
He like, bro, I can get you a deal. He want to sign you. But at the time now, I didn't know this. The Nancy song is like all over the industry though. Everybody talking about this shit. So it was like a little war going on between Boo, Akon brother, and KP about who signed me. Boo had to stand up in the meeting and say he already signed me. So KP and them, they like, nah, I got this signed. So it was a thing. So he get me over there. KP really want to do the deal with me. So I'm like, damn, they really trying to sign it. So I'm trying to get the deal going with Def Jam, but I didn't concrete it then. So the next day, they have a showcase in Atlanta. L.A. Reid there. They got Akon there, Jeezy there. I never forget this room. All the big fish. Anybody you could think of at that time that's big, they at this meeting. My man like perform for them. Come to the showcase, I want you to perform for them. But he like, your deal already concrete, I want you to perform. So I come over there. I do my shit, L.A. Reid in the building. So he come up to me, he like, yo, whatever we gotta do to get this man signed, let's do the deal. So I'm super excited. I'm turned on. I'm like, damn, I'm really about to get this shit. So I call Charlamagne. So I'm like, bro, I'm about to get a deal with Def Jam. I'm telling him how to play when because I ain't had been in contact with him about nothing.
Right.
So I'm telling him how I'm about to get the deal. When I tell him that, he throwing it under the rug. He like, man, hell no, you ain't finna get no deal with no Def Jam. You finna be signed. He know about KP. He like, you finna be signed to Ghetto Vision, which was KP label.
Right.
You finna be signed to them. I'm like, hell no, this shit is real. Cause I had done met L.A. Reid earlier that day. I'm telling him like, bro, this is L.A. Reid. I know it's real. He like, hell no. So I'm at KP house. I'm in the studio doing some shit. He tell me come out the booth. I'm like, what's up? He like, man, Charlamagne them just called. Said they called Def Jam and said if you don't do the deal through them, it ain't gonna be no deal because you signed to them.
It's crazy.
You feel me? So I'm f***ed up. I'm like,
crazy.
What? I'm like, signed to them. Now my mind go right back instantly to that moment when I signed that shit though. I'm like, oh, I really did fuck with them. So I instantly get on the phone with him though, knowing that he never put $1 into me. No harm, no foul. You won't take no L's with me getting signed, you feel me? Let me just get signed. Now this time, Lil Bo, none of them don't know I'm about to get this big deal. You feel me? Nobody know this but me, the dude, Jonathan, but now I done told this. He know now, you feel me? So he done put this wrench in my. So I'm on the phone with this man. I'm literally, I swear to God, crying tears out my eyes. I'm like, bro, why you trying to keep getting this contract when you know you ain't never put no money into my project? You never gave me $1 in life. Like what? So you can just rip this shit up and I can just go on with my life. Nah, I never forget this nigga said, sometimes in life, bro, you gotta do shit you don't wanna do. And this before the Breakfast Club and all of this. I'll never forget that. He said, sometimes in life, you gotta do shit you don't wanna do. And I ain't understand it at the time. You feel me? But that's before the Breakfast Club now. But I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn, so you ain't gonna let me out of the contract. I keep saying that. He just like, man. He's like, man, I'm gonna get with you. We get off the phone. After that, to this day, I never talked to Charlamagne again. So we just dealing with the lawyers now. So they go in, I'm supposed to get like $150,000 up front for my shit. You feel me? This nigga sued me first. So he like, I guess before they really knew what the numbers was on the deal, he like, yo, give me 40 grand. You get out of the deal. So we like 150, 40, we good. We gonna go and pay this man and get out. I guess they get the contract, see what's going on. This man say, give me an 80 ball out of this shit. You feel me? So at the time, man, when I had that whole Def Jam shit going on with Charlamagne, them niggas, like Charlamagne got points off my album. You feel what I'm saying? So that whole, he fucked me over with the album shit. It's just it's a crazy story because Kim had me do a situation where, I don't know if you know from 48 named Larry. I don't know if you know 48.
I know him.
You know him. You know,
Oh
okay.
yeah, no doubt.
He was doing some. Kim had me fucking with him. He was supposed to give me 10 grand for like an album I was supposed to do with Dirty Boys, Pastor Troy.
Right.
So I did some shit with Cuz before I did shit with Charlamagne, right?
You was spreading yourself
So
out.
look, this is what I'm trying to get I'm naive. I'm 22, 23 years old. I'm just trying to get there.
Right.
So Kim got me doing that with him. God bless Kim. I love Kim. But so I did it with, so my lawyer told me, he said, look, if you know they got a contract before Charlamagne, we can void this out and then we can just get them in place and then we can just go and get, so I tell him about the deal, right? Yo, this nigga goes and whoever he fucking with is like a Russian lady. Yo, they end up linking up with Charlamagne. So he sued me for 80 grand, right? They say, fuck that. They both know they never gave me no money. They both know that. So they say, fuck it, we're gonna take the 80,000 and we're gonna split it. So they got 40 grand and Charlamagne got 40 grand. I end up double fucking myself.
Crazy.
But trying to get out of that shit, yeah,
Crazy.
and signed the deal, yo. So that shit was wild. So when the album came out, it was horrible. I hadn't lost all the money I was supposed. I walked away with like 30 grand out of that shit.
That's why you say it was one of the best and worst things.
Yeah, it was good for damn it's moving, but that shit was horrible. All my friends turning on me, the whole Columbia thinking I'm tripping.
Shout out to
Shit crazy.
Shout out to, yeah, make sure you cover that up. Shout out to 106 in Park and you debuting at number one on there.
Come on, man.
Video
I'm at
coming
Grand
number
Hustle
one.
Studio that
Yo,
day.
we loved it. Hey, listen, right now, this Carolina business, we finna shift the story to some more localized stuff, some Carolina stuff that a lot of people been thinking about. This is gonna be the second half of the segment.
Yeah.
We know definitely the ladies were crazy about you.
Yeah.
And before social media was going crazy and the internet was going crazy, you were known as the ladies' man.
Yeah.
Ru, how many kids you got?
Man, I got 9 kids, brother.
You
8
got-
baby mamas, 9 kids. Ain't that, I'm proud of that. I'm gonna tell you why though. On a high spiritual level, to be able to create that level, but
That's
as
right.
a younger man, I wouldn't be proud of my choices. You know what I mean? But I came from nothing. My mama was a smoker. My daddy never was in my life. So just developing and learning, being a man, that came with trial and error. That's why a lot of that shit back with music, I wasn't protected. You know what I mean? It was just living, learning through, damn, I'm hitting my head here. I had my first child when I was 15. But you gotta think, I'm getting record deals and all these girls older. My baby mom was in the 12th grade. I was in the 7th grade. You feel me? So it's just all kind of.
It's crazy how the stories, when they flip backwards, you can be played as a victim. At that time, you were literally a kid asking for you to do grown people things.
Right, take care of everybody, everything. Man.
They were trying to, basically it was being said, oh, he a deadbeat dad, and he not around, and all of that kind of stuff. Can you speak on some of that work? Do you consider yourself at the time as a deadbeat, or was it?
Man, I say this to anybody. When you a father with multiple kids, like all over, even Nick Cannon, like you can have all the money in the world. Kids desire more time than anything. It's hard to be there for everybody when you got that many kids spread. I had 3 kids in 1 year. Wow. January, February, July, born, you feel me? But none of my kids that's breathing air on this earth can't say they got a relationship with their dad. They can pick up the phone, call me. I fuck with my kids. Was there times in life where I felt I could have did better or more? Hell yeah. But that shit come from earlier decisions before they even was created. You know what I mean? So deadbeat, I can never say I'm a deadbeat because I'm always try. I ain't never been on child support, none of that. With all these kids and all that, I'm always gonna do my best though. You know what I mean? So could I did better by not having so many kids and being able to lock in on one? I will always say that. But when you spread yourself thin like that, it's hard to be the perfect father for every kid. And that's never possible. But just being that stand up, you know what I mean? That's always tough when you got multiple kids like that. That's for anything. I don't give a fuck how much money you got.
With success comes controversy and beef.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about a situation that we have to talk about. It might not be one of those things that you want to talk about, but we got to talk about it.
I'm with it, brother.
I'm going to set the scene.
Yeah.
There was a video that surfaced. Yeah. And in the video, and this was way before things went viral. This is one of the first viral things.
Yeah.
In this video, we saw you pull up in a vehicle, in the passenger side of a vehicle.
Yeah.
And it was some kind of dispute going on. And you were sucker punched by one of the most notorious rappers and street figures at the time.
Yeah.
What brought that situation there, and what could you have done? I want you to run through it from the minute you pulled up to give your fans and people in the city that always had rumors.
Yeah.
We want to know from point A to point B.
Yeah.
What happened that day, Ru?
Man, that particular day, I'm gonna take it back a day before though. We had I don't even remember DJ Cleve having that big picnic we used to have in Santee. Well, they was on that same picnic we was on, but I seen them earlier that day, the day before. I would say like a week before. It was like a week before. I seen them. They try to run down on me there. So my little brother, we done drew down on them at the park. So it was just chaos. Everybody run. Oh, they got a gun. So we had already seen them like a weekend before. Done draw down on. It done went crazy. So, but I ain't really on that type of time. You know, I ain't never been no rah-rah type of dude. You feel me? Right. So we, I'm just on what I'm on. But they disrespected. They trying to spit on me as we walking. My security like, yo, they done spit on me. They try to hem up one of my partners and all. So drawing down that's what we got to do. So they try to back us in. Okay, boom. So we fast forward. Talk about my kids. I always been trying to get my son when I was younger, I would be relentlessly fighting for that. Like, arguing with my baby mom, I'm on all that young shit back then. But I'm on my son. So I'm trying to get him. I get him. My mama just got home from prison. My mama had to kill somebody, manslaughter. She killed a dude. She doing time. She had came home. So we taking my mama to the beach. You know what I mean? I got all my kids ready. It's all that's in the backseat, whatever. My son, because where he came from, the house that he came out of, that's my baby mama house. So my son is with me at the beach. So when I get my son, we down there, me and my baby mom, he telling me like how much of amazing time he having and he just loved us. And so I'm feeling that shit. I'm getting angry about that shit. So me and my baby mama talking, I get to going off on her, She from around here, she know how shit going on. So she get in contact with them, put them in the house with her. You feel me? So I get to bring him back home.
So she literally out of anger set you up.
Yeah, facts. He done backdoored me on some back in the day shit. But listen, I'm taking my son home. I'm dropping my son off. And yo, God is amazing. Cause that morning, right? I'm in Florence. So, you know, you gotta go to the beach, we in Florence. So that's where we staying at. We left the beach, so we staying in Florence at a hotel. So I had some jewelry and shit. I don't fuck around and left it in the room. So the house guy, he trying to play with my jewelry. We like what? So I was young now. We was wild. So we pulling pistols on bro. But it done got crazy where he like, oh y'all drawing gun, we calling the police. So at the time before I go take my son home, I'm telling my man them take the gun. I got the kids and all that. I don't want all this shit. So when I get to the house with them, I see this nigga come out of the door. Instantly though, I'm not even thinking, I just jump out. You feel? I'm just like, we already had our little shit going on, so we get to going back and forth. I'm really shocked though that she really done let this nigga come to her house. I'm not even thinking she that diabolical with her shit.
Right.
But damn, that's how it really, then, you know, me and him, we didn't even have no words. The nigga that sucker punched me is my baby mama brother. I never thought me and him had no stay. That's how he even get that close up on me. If a nigga was gonna get up in some type of, man, what? I'm about to rock this nigga like. But a nigga that I'm kind of like halfway trusting, I don't got no issue with this. But when he stole off on me, which was very weak, soft, when he hit me, I'm like, okay, this shit going down now. You feel me? But niggas ain't really do that, and you know what I mean? So I felt like it was crazy. And that's just how that shit played out. But the funniest shit about it, I'm getting back in the car, like I ain't all knocked out, bruised up or nothing. I see a nigga with a camera. This when this shit first started. I'm a real nigga. I don't even
the camera on the stick. The camera on the stick.
Camera on the stick. This nigga got a camera on the stick. I say this nigga got a camera. I see the nigga. I call it the name and all. I'm like, I see you. So after this, I didn't even make it to West Columbia before I could get to Atlanta.
Right.
That shit was on YouTube. Right. And then I realized
it was a setup.
This is what niggas was doing. I was from there. I'm from real action. They know internet shit. We finna do this shit. But when I seen them niggas do that, I was like, man. You know what's crazy about the law of attraction? Me and my just talking about, like, I would never forget it, like a month before that. I watched a video where a nigga would try to fake interview and then start punching them out. I was like, nigga ever try to play me like that, gonna kill everything. And then that shit happened to me like that. And I was like the first beginning of that whole try to go viral on so funny. After that, Alley Boy tried to do it in Young LA. Yeah. Bro, I was like, okay, this was going on.
What I can say, this is Carolina business. Yeah. We are supposed to always be on point, but certain things happen to show you that. And with that situation, bro, a sucker punch is a sucker punch.
Yeah, fast.
It's not a square off and put in that position. They was rolling deep. You know, it is what it is. You know, you got out of there. You had enough sense to get out of there, and it didn't get ugly. At that time, did you think about coming back for retaliation or anything like that?
Man, listen, my little brother ignorant. He instantly, he was in the video with me. He one of them. He got free him right now. He locked up right now. Yo, he one of them. He instantly like, let's go right now, come back. No. Bro, you gotta be strategic. Life is way more. Right. I thank God I was young, dumb, but I was way more. I always knew that that's not who I'm not that type of nigga though. All that was doing to me, I knew that was out of hate. I couldn't even find the hate for them. Like really find it. I'm always gonna defend myself. Love them in order to hate them. Like to really eliminate them, I gotta be on demon. Like this is, I hate this. Did this to my child, my mom. I'm gonna blow this nigga. Never that though. I never could find that in them. This rap. Right. You niggas me because I'm good. Right. This all is it. I would call myself the king of the 803. That's what the description of the. You mad because I say I'm good? That's so I never could find that energy. We never had no problem. Me and bro used to be making music together. He was cool with Kim. Now I was always tell Kim, why shit like this though? These ain't been around us. These come around us. They see this shit moving. Everybody watching this shit. I used to always tell Kim that, but she nice. Everybody love Kim. That's the slogan. So everybody fucking with her. So I never, that shit really, that shit just went sour from niggas just hating though. I never wanted to crush bro whole life or do nothing to him. I knew the shit would play out how it played out. Anytime you got a drummer with it, camera out, he will tell something. That's a police move. If it's real static, ain't nobody want no cameras. So how his life played out, Hey, man, I knew this shit would go like that, man. So it is what it is, man. And I don't have no malice to that. So old, I was young.
It was a long. I mean, it was a long, long time ago.
Hell
But
yeah.
I've never seen you speak on it.
Never have.
And
Yeah.
this was one of the reasons why we call you a legend. You
Yeah.
actually spoke on it and gave us your point of view.
Yeah.
As grown men in a different light.
Yeah.
If you ever saw him face to face, would you shake his hand?
Hell yeah. I don't have no. I can't. Like I say, I could never find that with him. Why? Where is that? I'm just on I'm on defense with that.
No doubt.
You feel me? Like I ain't on no. They was on me offensive. Man, I'm on defense. Y'all trying to come at me. I gotta protect my life. That's just all it ever been with me and him. I can't find nothing for bro. I wish him the best, man. You know what I mean? I bless God, give him everything he deserves in life, whatever that is.
No doubt.
Fact.
We saw you rebranding and rebuilding your legacy as far as music goes.
Yeah,
Booby Samuels.
Yeah, man.
What was that about, and is it still Booby Samuels? How you rolling?
Man, I come up, my grandma called me Booby. So then I went through a transitional state in life, man. You know, where I really found the truth in life. Because I was suicidal with this shit you gotta think about all that time to be at a certain point. I'm like 26 when this shit really slowing down for me. So that shit bothering my brain to where I'm getting suicidal now. I'm feeling like, where do I go? Like I said, I've been Christian. So once I develop myself and really learn how to think, the same person that introduced me to Christianity, he introduced me to the real truth, which is my cousin, Quincy Samuel. You feel me? That's my cousin. So Booby was my childhood name. But I found this, I don't know if y'all remember back with The Secret. I don't know if y'all heard The Secret. Everybody know about The Secret. But The Secret, I found that when I was like 26. You feel me? When I found that shit changed my whole existence, bro. So I started transitioning my name, saying I want to be the pure me, the real version of who I am, from when my grandma was calling me Booby. You know what I mean? My last name is Samuel. So I just wanted to go back into that, my essence of just attach that to this whole Lil Ru. Because that wasn't the name I came up with. That was my dude named Terry Brown gave me that. My daddy name is Ru, but I never had a relationship with my dad. He just like, you look like him, so we just call you Lil Ru. You feel me? So
no doubt.
It's just how that was. But yeah, man.
If you could, and we got to save something for the next interview.
Facts.
This right here has been legendary. Can you, if you had if you could, what advice would you give to the youngest version of you? As far as this music game goes and your career, what advice would you give them?
If I could talk to him now?
Yeah.
Oh, I would tell him it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Because a lot of those times being younger, I was in panic mode. That's how I got up in a lot of those contracts. I just never wanted to suffer, man. I've been poor my whole life. So coming up from that, it had me in this dire need of wanting to have a better life. You know what I mean? Being like my mama smoking, my daddy never been around, coming from a dirt road. We didn't have shit, you know what I mean? So I would just tell my younger self, chill out. It's gonna be all right, because that shit was having me signing contracts bad. You know what I mean? I just really wanted to be in a better space in life. Just being naive, trusting the wrong people, believing in friendships that ain't even really solid. Because people can see talent in you that you probably not even really can see. They see it on a whole nother level. You know, you just being genuine, humble with something that God gave you. Nobody don't know how it is to live there. So I would just, tell my younger self, man, hey, it's gonna be all right, bro. Word, for real.
No doubt.
Yeah.
What are you currently working on right now, and what will be the name, the actual artist name on this project?
I'm gonna stick with the Lil Ru, man. I'm gonna stick with the Lil Ru just because the fan base is so heavy, man.
No doubt.
Being that's what people is more accustomed to. But the Booby Samuel, I use that now to, like I say, when I'm doing the more harmonizing music style, I go into that Booby Samuel energy. Even when I'm talking more positive, I use that as Booby Samuel, because I got a lot of music where it's conscious now, but it's not conscious to where you can't rock with it. It's just gonna make you, more Nipsey Hussle energy. You're gonna think, I'm gonna really give you the truth. So I can attribute that to the Booby Samuel side, but you still got to turn up with the ad-lib nasty song, Lil Ru stuff. I still got that. So now I'm just really working on just branding myself back with the females on a higher level, you know what I'm saying? But
no doubt.
Not trying to give sex to where it's degrading for me, because you know what I mean? That could be a thing at the age I am now. I'm not even just trying to just overly sell sex, but just give sex to where it's respected from a man's standpoint. And not to where I'm just like, oh, bitches and hoes and sluts. I try to make music on a sex level to where it's more one-on-one. You know what I mean? You can ride with your girl, and she can feel respected in that versus like you slept the out of that. Now you can have those jams, you know what I mean? But I try to make music for the females that's way it's more sensual, man. It's a vibe. You know what I mean?
No doubt. We're gonna end this thing with,
Yeah.
with some questions.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say 5 sometime and stretch.
Yeah.
But these are just random questions, random words, and we want you basically to say the first thing that come to your mind. We're not playing a game. It's just to show people kind of like your thought process and how you moving.
Yes, sir.
When you hear the word love, what do you think of?
God. That's it. You know, God is love. That's it, man. You know, and I think about life. Life is built for love. Love is the ultimate destination. Anything that's going on, that's why even now with music, I wouldn't even do this if it wasn't for love. You know what I mean? It's the love. I done probably seen a lot of shit that people probably be like, man, you really did this shit. You could just probably just fade away and be like, man, I did this and just go on do this. But it's just the love and the purpose behind this shit that keep you going. So I thank God when I think love, bro.
With the path that Nasty song took you on, sonically or as an artist, is it any one thing about that song that you wish you would have changed? Any word, any melody, anything?
Nah, it's perfect, man. To where you know the universe did what it was supposed to do and still is doing it. That's why it is what it is. That's God inside of that. I couldn't change nothing about it. I wouldn't change it. It's the energy.
Some people say that it's hard to understand you a lot of times when you rap. I guess because of your country vernacular.
From South Carolina, man.
I often used to hear that back in the days when we would be traveling and they'd be playing it, or we'd be playing it, and they'd be like, man, what is he saying? We understand what he's saying on the hook, but what is he saying? And it was just your style of that rapid fire delivery or whatever. And it was different when you did it on considered a girl song or a girly record. You know what I mean? It was like you still kept it kind of hard.
Fact.
Revolver or automatic?
Revolver, definitely.
I just asked you that just for the mindset.
Yeah,
and you already talked about your relationship with your higher power.
Yeah.
Can you break down real quick what led you there? Was it one event or many events?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just a process of pain, man. You know what I mean? But pain is a blessing though at the same time. You need pain in order to develop into the character. You know what I mean? So mine just come from pain, man. And in the journey, as I get into the journey more, I'm starting to understand it. You know what I mean? In the beginning, you really don't know, but it's the pain, really. The losing of your friends and, you know, Kim transitioning. I never thought I'd be at this point and her not be beside me and all of this. And just to seeing how the journey is going. So it's really the pain, man. Just pain, just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Constantly making the wrong decision. That type of thing will make you'll figure out something higher because you feel like, damn, my lower self, me trying to figure out who I am is not clicking. You trying your best. You really ain't a bad person. You really know that. Most people know they up when they up. But you know when you pure, I'm really trying. So when shit don't click, you have to look up to God like, damn, so what do I do now? Humble down, break down to my smallest version, open up, let God guide me. Once that started happening with me, I just, you know what I mean, man? Now I'm more purpose driven. More so than just, I want to get the bitches and the money. I thank God that I was able to do all that and still have my health, my life, experience the game, and then have a son that's going on 15 years, 16 years later, college scrolling to it. All these things is God, man. Allowing me to experience music now from a standpoint of a mental space where I'm ready now. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the main thing, man. Just
no doubt.
The pain, bro, get me to God, and God just.
If you could get on a cell phone right now and talk directly to God, is there any person that's no longer here that you would bring back?
Hell no. Let them live because death is the ultimate peace. I would never nobody peace up and say, come back to this because life is only meant for trial and error. It's meant to be painful. That's why most people can't. The people commit suicide, come on, man. You don't understand life. When you understand that this shit is meant to be hard, then you will understand how to exist inside of anything. It's like being in a sauna. You know that you're in there to sweat. So you don't just get out of the sauna Instantly, you sit in there, you get in cold, you get, okay, I'm going to sweat. That's what life is. Once you get into the pain of life, damn, that's like me now. I know that all that shit I went through with the music was a part of my journey. I'm okay with that now. Like, oh, so me saying somebody come back, it's their journey up. You know what I mean? They're gone now. Allow them to transition. That's why I love the rest in peace thing, because that's the true peace, man. Life is meant to be tough. You got to be built for this shit. But it's a blessing once you learn it. Once you learn it, it's not tough. Anything, like you can work out. Once you begin to work out, the pain ain't the same no more. You develop from it, you get stronger. But guess what? You want more pain because you want to get stronger. So that's just, you know what I mean? So it just led me to saying from your main point, hell no, I wouldn't bring nobody back. The journey is the journey, you know what I mean?
No doubt,
Straight
man.
up.
I want to say, first of all, thank you to our sponsor, our number one sponsor, Black Lips.
Come on, man. Got me fresh up.
You know what I'm saying? Bringing this thing together.
Yeah, man.
Barry, before the interview a couple of days ago, he told me to make sure that I challenged you.
Yeah.
And I feel like we gave the state of South Carolina what they've been waiting on.
Yeah,
I've seen many interviews, but they didn't know you as a brother, as a Carolina brother, and they didn't give us what we needed.
Yeah.
He told me to make sure that I was deliberate in this thing and make sure that I gave him something memorable. And I feel like we did that.
Nah, facts, man.
No doubt. What do you feel about what he got going on currently with the situation with Woody and how things are playing out? Or is that any of your business?
Man, I don't judge people's life, man. Life is, like I say, I'm so big on individuality, bro. People being in their own bubble, doing their own thing. I respect all walks of life. I don't come in on no street shit with no, you know what I mean? That ain't got nothing to do with me because I ain't in no streets. I ain't no street, none of that. I don't care about that. I'm all about growth, man. If that's helping him grow, then be involved with that because that's what it's all about. Being better. If this elevating you, be a part of that. But if that shit diminishing your life, causing conflict, please get away from that shit. So I with anything that's growing a man. You feel what I'm saying? Period.
No doubt, man. Salute, man, to one of the greatest.
Come on now.
One of the greatest
I'm humbled by that, bro.
Carolina artists of all time.
Straight up.
Continuing. Yeah. And I'm not gonna do the lame thing by saying I heard some great music.
Yeah.
This man played some really, really good music tonight. Okay. And it's hits on top of hits. And bro, do what you gotta do to put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
This platform, Carolina Business, definitely thought highly of you enough to say, look, following Mr. Barry White, we gotta go get the legend.
Yeah.
It was nobody else that we felt would be a representation of Carolina business other than one of the greatest club rappers, one of the biggest club songs in the world.
Come on, man.
To this day, the Nasty song.
That's it.
Man, just keep doing your thing, Lil Ru, and you always got a home here with this Carolina business.
I want to say one thing before we slide though, bro. To like the rappers from our era, like the Piezos, etc., like those type of dudes, man. I just be feeling crazy to be seeing those dudes kind of be like, I don't know, I don't want to say they quit or they gave up or whatever, but just like try no more. But I know from having talent like I got and being in rooms with these like timeless talent as well, bro. But I just feel like a mental thing with a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Me, I'm mental strong. Like I just be wanting my brothers like that to really just, bro, it's not an age limit on music. Like you may feel like you too old if you listen to this and all that, tell you that, but music don't have no time on it. I can tell that from my song. Bro, this shit is still going on 15, 16 years later. I would have never imagined that it would go this far like this. So I just be trying to, you know, put that life into it just from my era of music that feel like, bro, you know, this shit, I'm too old for this shit. Or man, you don't have to jump around and talk about ops and all that lame. You don't, come on, you 35 plus type, oh, you don't supposed to be on that, but you can give something to where they can relate to your soul and really elevate from, because everybody love music, man. That's a thing, you know what I mean? And like these younger niggas that's doing this shit around here, I just love to see that shit, because they in a different space. So I can't never say, man, you should do it like this or do it like that. They teaching me shit, you feel me? So I just be loving everything, but the people that's from my era, I just be telling like, bro, don't give up on your shit, bro. the marathon always continue. I fuck with that like a religion. That whole marathon shit, because a race is not won through a sprint, man. A marathon is not. It's not about the first place, guys. Just make sure everybody get through the line, man. You know, so I just want to say that. It's in my era, man, don't give up on your shit, bro.
Shout out to all the OGs.
Yeah,
Shout out to PA.
Collard Green, all them niggas. Collard Green is like a Andre 3000. That's how I always envision him. Like, bro, you really different. And different is important now, especially now in the era, man.
Shout out to everybody that want to be different and that want to brand themselves in their own special way.
Yeah, agreed with
you
that
know,
nigga first.
So, man, appreciate you, Ru, for
thank y'all for having
coming
me,
out,
bro.
man. And this is definitely probably the first of many, man.
Facts, I love it. I appreciate it,
We
man.
appreciate you, bro.
Carolina business, man.
For sure, man.
Yes, sir. Stand on it, Mr. Barry White. I appreciate you letting me get that thing out, man.
No doubt, bro.
You know, it's so much in that. I want to do a documentary, man.